Welcome to this video on Unit I, Emergence of Psychology, which covers topics relevant to the UGC Net examination. This content is presented by Dr. Sukirti Singh, Associate Professor of Psychology at Lovely Professional University. Unit 1 covers the emergence of psychology, including psychological thought in major Eastern systems like the Bhagavad Gita and Buddhism. We will also review academic psychology in India, from the pre-independence era to the emergence of Indian psychology in academia in the 2000s. Western psychology's emergence includes the Greek heritage, medieval, and modern periods, covering schools like structuralism, functionalism, and Gestalt. We will also examine the 4 founding paths of academic psychology, including Wundt and Freud, and discuss the crisis caused by strict adherence to the experimental analytical paradigm. Essential aspects of knowledge paradigms include ontology, epistemology, and methodology. Western psychology paradigms cover positivism, post-positivism, and social constructionism. Significant Indian paradigms include yoga, Bhagavad Gita, and integral yoga, emphasizing the primacy of self-knowledge. This video will focus on psychological thought in some major Eastern systems: the Bhagavad Gita, Buddhism, Sufism, and integral yoga. Eastern systems offer philosophical foundations that predate Western psychology, providing sophisticated frameworks for understanding the mind, consciousness, and human suffering. The Bhagavad Gita is viewed as a counseling dialogue, focused on self-realization. Key concepts include the trigunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas, which frame personality. Nishkama karma, or detached action, reduces performance anxiety and fosters emotional stability. The concept of sthita prajna describes a state of mental equilibrium. Yoga is presented as mental discipline through 3 paths: jnana yoga for knowledge, bhakti yoga for emotional regulation, and karma yoga for action. Buddhist psychology centers on the cessation of suffering, or dukkha, through mental training. The 4 Noble Truths provide a framework, while the Eightfold Path is the method, divided into wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. Anatta, or non-self, is the concept that the self is composed of 5 changing aggregates, not a permanent ego. Mindfulness, or sati, is non-judgmental present awareness, which underpins modern mindfulness-based cognitive therapy. Sufism uses a psychological model of the self with 3 components. Nafs is the lower self, or ego. Qalb is the spiritual center and mediator. Ruh is the divine spark, or pure consciousness. The nafs evolves through 7 stages of self-development. Nafs al-amara is the impulsive, commanding self. Nafs al-lawama is the self-accusing self, where conscience emerges. Nafs al-mulhama is the inspired self, receiving inner guidance. The stages continue with Nafs al-mutma'inna, the serene self in peace. Nafs al-radiya is the pleased self, satisfied with all circumstances. Nafs al-mardiya is the pleasing self, aligned with divine purpose. Nafs al-safiya is the pure self, achieving extinction of the ego. Major Sufi methodological practices include dhikr, the rhythmic repetition of divine names. Muraqaba involves quiet introspection and meditation. Tazkiyah is the active purification of the soul from negative traits like pride and envy. In comparison to Western psychology, Sufism aims to transcend the ego, unlike Freud's focus on the unconscious. Like humanism, Sufism seeks the perfect man, but defines perfection through spiritual, rather than secular, achievement. Integral yoga's core philosophy centers on involution, the divine descending into matter, and evolution, consciousness awakening within matter. The next stage of evolution, according to Aurobindo, is the supermind, as humanity is a transitional being. Aurobindo's structure of being includes a concentric system. The outer being is our surface personality. The inner being is the subliminal part aware of universal forces. The psychic being is the evolving soul, which is the first goal of this yoga. The vertical system represents the staircase of consciousness. This includes the higher mind, illumined mind, and intuition. Above these are the overmind, a cosmic consciousness, and the supermind, which is the truth consciousness bridging the divine and material worlds. To achieve the integral goal, a seeker undergoes 3 transformations. Psychic transformation replaces the ego with the soul. Spiritual transformation involves the descent of higher power. Supramental transformation is the final stage, leading to a divine life on earth. Key terms for UGC Net include Purna Yoga, another name for integral yoga. The triple path of practice involves aspiration, rejection, and surrender. The Divine Mother is the active force carrying out the transformation in this system. This video has provided an overview of the emergence of psychology, focusing particularly on key psychological concepts and models from the major Eastern systems as outlined in the UGC Net syllabus. Thank you for watching. We hope this information is helpful for your UGC Net preparation.